Okay, so this is a very important technique, getting this extra information from Queensland Globe. So this is just how you use it. So we'll just scan in a little bit because it doesn't fully work when you're fully scanned out. And so you can see all the layers, sorry, all the Google Maps sort of view there. So what you need to do, the most important one is you need to go to add layers and see the surface geology because you can't see the 3D underneath layers that I'm aware of. So you click on geology and go to this one here, and that's the one you tick. Sometimes it can take a while. Now that's you then you don't want to see everything because it's messy. So you click on this one, and you'll only see, which is still a lot. You'll only see the ones in view. So if you zoom in a little, um, you'll see that it's only going to give you what's in view. It takes sometimes a little bit of a lag, and you can't see anything right now. So what you do is you go back to this all layers, and then you can turn them on and off like that, but you can decrease it a bit, so you can still see both. You can still see the map, and you can still see the colors a little bit. So you can change that to whatever suits you, um, whatever you can make out. Now, there's one other thing. So that's that there. There's one other thing. Sometimes I also like to get the contours a bit. Um, and so you have to go to add layers, and that one's somewhere else. Uh, Elevation. So you can get the contours. That's too strong for my liking. So again, you can just decrease it a little bit. Um, so you got an idea of where you're going and how steep it is, and hopefully um, finding cliffs, because cliffs are good for exposed rock. Or if it's flat, you're probably not going to get much. So that's my preferred setting. Now, it's not 100% reliable because if you go to the video I did on Noosa, there was an amazing amount of different rocks there. And if you go to Noosa, you don't get anything here, and you just get it in that it's coal measures, um, Tiro coal measures over here. And even when I tried, so it's obviously a basalt dike. Even when I tried to get it to show it, it just doesn't have everything yet. Maybe it will in 10 years' time. It'll be next level sort of stuff. And so there are dikes around here. Just going to find them here, so under detailed structure. So faults, folds, dikes, um, joints, fractures, trends, dips, volcanic features, nothing. Doesn't come up with anything. Okay, so there's a little bit of a limit to that. So you definitely, it's not going to tell you everything. You have to go out there and see what's going on. All right. Now, what caught my interest is these lakes that are just around Brisbane. I didn't know Brisbane had all these lakes. Um, so if we go back to Brisbane, and I noticed there was this lake. Look at it. I didn't know there was a lake there. And then there's a narrowly fertile bed just popping up out of nowhere. I did the contours. And so how do they know like it starts and stops so like that? How do they know it goes in like that and around? Are they trying to follow the contours? And so I was not really that aware of this thing. So I'm gonna go check this out. And so my suspicion is this is going to look really nice. My suspicion is this is the underlaying bed that's got some nicer, more metamorphosed rocks, so they've survived, and then the rest has been eroded and then overlain with these two groups. Now, these two groups are sedimentary, um, and the Woogaroo one's got large cobbles, and that one's got finer material. So I'm interested to see if I'll see nice flat layers for these two with cobbles, sandstones, which are very different to the fine sedimentary. I think it's theoretically possible as I walk along here, especially here, because there's some cliffs there, that I might be able to see a distinction between these three groups um, as I walk along. So, so even though it's gonna rain, um, I'm basically just waiting for my coffee. That's the only reason I didn't leave earlier. 5 in the morning. My wife didn't come out of bed 5 a.m. in the morning in a thunderstorm. That's her red line for me dragging her out to look at rocks. All right, and so that's my prediction. I'm going to go have a look and see what's there. Okay, so to cut a long story short, I should have known from the map that the fact that this lake has disappeared means they don't want you to go there. And when you go get close to it, there are these big danger signs saying you're not allowed to go to this quarry. And that's about it. I walked all the way to the top. That's the view from. It's quite rainy the whole way, and walked all the way to the top. There's just if you look around the view from the top there, there's just trees everywhere. So there's nothing really to see. I managed to at the top have a look and find some conglomerates. So I did find large quartz pebbles rock around the place. Um, so that just shows you there is some limits to this Queensland globe map. However, at the entrances, there was just one rock that showed a sign that was messy, um, twisted, on angled. One sign that it was Fernvale rock. And there were quite a few other rocks with huge quartz cobbles and stuff, and smaller ones, pebbles as well. Huge boulders that came from the quarry. And that's all there is, really. Um, and so it's all in the quarry. That's how they must have known that there were different levels because they dug in and they could see the different levels. So it'd be great to turn that into an educational centre, and people could go in safely and check out all the details of the layers and the different types of rocks, because obviously it's in the quarry, and that's how they knew, and that's all you're going to get. All right.